All right, let's dive into one of the biggest, most confusing questions any business owner faces. You know the one.
I'm willing to bet you've typed this exact question into Google, right? You're just hoping for a simple number. You know you need a website. You know it's critical. But trying to pin down a budget, yeah, it feels like trying to nail Jello to a wall.
And 9 times out of 10, this is the answer you get. It's so frustrating, right? It's completely unhelpful and it puts you right back at square one. But stick with me here because we're going to blow past that useless answer and actually break down what you're paying for in a way that makes sense. Okay, so to really get a handle on website pricing, we gotta reframe how we think about it. And the best way to do that is with an analogy I love, the burger versus the custom suit. And here's the absolute key takeaway. A professional website isn't a commodity. It's not something you just grab off a shelf like a fast food burger with a fixed price. No, it's a custom service, something that's tailored from the ground up just for your business, your goals, your style. I mean, think about it. With a burger, it's pretty much prepackaged. Maybe you can ask for no pickles, right? That's about it. But a custom suit, the price is all about the quality of the fabric, the skill of the person making it, the complexity of the whole thing. A website is exactly like that suit. The cost is a direct reflection of the skill, the strategy, and all the custom work that goes into it. All right, so if we're commissioning a custom suit, what are the different pieces we're actually paying for? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down where the money really goes. And this is maybe the most important point of all. You are not just paying for something that looks pretty. A great website is an engine for your business. You're paying for strategy, for functionality, for real expertise. You're paying for someone who understands your customers, who can make sure it all works perfectly, and who knows how to get Google to pay attention. So let's start at the very beginning. For a few $100 a year, you're in the world of DIY website builders. You know the ones. You pick a template, you do all the heavy lifting yourself. And look, it can be a decent starting point if you just need a super simple digital brochure. But, and this is a big but, your ability to customize things and really dial in the technical stuff like SEO, it's going to be really, really limited. Okay, moving up a level. In this range, you're typically hiring a professional freelancer. And honestly, this is the sweet spot for a lot of small businesses. You're getting a website that's designed just for you, with all your core pages, built on a solid foundation. It is a massive leap from a template. We're talking a truly unique online presence. Now we're getting into small agency territory. And when you make this jump, the whole focus shifts. It's way more about strategy. You're not just getting a design anymore. You're getting custom user experience, or UI/UX, and a site that's deeply plugged into your marketing goals. This is where your website stops being a brochure and starts being a serious marketing machine. And finally, up here at the top end, we're talking about truly complex, custom-built platforms. This is where you see things like massive e-commerce systems, custom databases, top-tier security, the whole 9 yards. A complete digital strategy is literally woven into the fabric of the site. These are high-performance digital machines built to operate at a huge scale. So let's just pull this all together for a second. Looking at this breakdown, you can see it plain as day. What you invest directly connects to what you get. Down at the bottom, DIY templates give you the basics with very little custom feel. Move up to a freelancer and bam, you've got a custom design and some foundational SEO. Go with a small agency and you're buying deep strategic planning and user experience. And at the top, it's a full-blown digital strategy. Each level solves a different problem for a different type of business. Seeing it all laid out like this really helps clarify where you fit in. Okay, so you look at a chart like that, and it is so tempting to just point at the lowest number and say, that one. But hold on. We really need to talk about a super common and super costly mistake. I call it the cheap website trap. I mean, that super low price tag feels like a victory lap, right? But the hidden costs, they are enormous. When your site is basically invisible to Google, or it looks terrible on a phone, or you can't even figure out how to update it, that money you thought you saved just vanishes. You end up paying for it later with lost time, frustrated customers, and just a massive headache. And here's a really great way to think about it. Cheap can often stand for costly, hassles, every afternoon, permanently. I love that. It's not a bargain, folks. It's a down payment on a whole lot of future problems. So if cheap is a trap, what's the right way to approach this whole thing? Well, it all boils down to one fundamental shift in how you see it. And there it is. This is the whole ballgame. Hiring a professional designer isn't an expense you just check off a to-do list. It's an investment in your business's core infrastructure. It's just as important as your physical location or your essential equipment. It's absolutely foundational. And what's the return on that investment? Well, a website that's built right isn't just a digital flyer. It's your best salesperson working 24/7. It works for you by loading lightning fast, by turning visitors into actual customers, and by being structured correctly so that search engines can actually find you. It is the bedrock of everything else you do in digital marketing. So, the next time you're thinking about your website, I really want you to remember this one crucial difference. Don't just go out there and pay for a website. Invest in a high-performing digital asset. See that? That one little word change from paying to investing, it changes everything. It reframes the whole decision. It's not about the short-term cost anymore. It's about long-term value, real performance, and actual business growth. And that's the question I want to leave you with. I want you to look at your own website, or the one you're dreaming up, and ask yourself this. Honestly, is this thing just another expense on my books? Or is it a powerful asset specifically engineered to grow my business? Your answer to that question, well, it's going to tell you everything you need to know.